morning. One of my shits is anyway. Justice's Waiting Room. This is a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics. I'm a socialist, so hey, I just want everyone to have universal health care, education, income, and housing. As per usual, when we go live, we play a little song. All right. You ready for another week? All right. One of them days where I wake up hot. Okay. Woke up today. Someone sent me a message and said, hey, the message of the day is sell Tesla stock. So if you're watching this show, if you know somebody, if you've got Tesla stock, sell that shit. Long story short, apparently, you know, from Elon's mouth, Elon Musk is really worried about Tesla stock, and that if everybody just sells their stock, he'll default on all of these loans. He basically becomes penniless overnight. I don't know about anybody else. I don't need much. Like I said, I don't own any stock, but I know plenty of people do. Okay. Sorry for the change of the angle. One of my monitors is giving me shit today. Okay. Okay. This woman who is dragged out speaks. Police chief condemns security. Name of security firm can private security firm Lear Asset Management. So one of the more striking stories in the last, I don't know, 24 hours was the young woman getting dragged out of was that a town hall meeting? By uh, someone without a badge. And it turns out they were with Lear Asset Management. They dragged Teresa Barenpole from the meeting. Paul Troet is uh, the owner of that security firm. Yeah. So this is one of those things. I'm telling you, it's getting to the point now where, and keep in mind, this was a Republican event. So from what I gathered, so I could turn the music off this morning. From what I gathered, that event featured a Republican speaker, and long story short, when he went up on stage, she criticized a Republican. Now, keep in mind, there were loud cheers throughout the meeting, but when the Republican went on stage and she jeered him, she got forcibly removed by people that are not police officers and are not in uniform, and they did not have the permission of the police to be there. This is one of those things I've always told other people because I worked armed and unarmed security for a long time. Security does not replace police. In fact, security is supposed to step aside when the police are there. So the fact that the police weren't trying to remove that person should tell you everything you need to know. They had no business removing that person. Okay. There's a good reason to fight and to want to be there and to use your First Amendment right, which is to speak out. And the government shouldn't be using a private security firm to remove detractors. That's a violation of your free speech. That's a First Amendment violation. I'd sue the fuck out of them. Now, keep this in mind. I get free legal aid for life. One of my best friends is an attorney, and the other one is a pre-law grad. So I'm want to make sure, like I said, outside of sell your Tesla stock. Hey Angie, hey Amanda, sell your Tesla stock. Oh, we gotta go live on Clapper too. Little trying to get like discouraged or anything on these other platforms that I haven't been using. Want to make sure we say, hey, on Friday is the economic blackout. My wife and I are in the process of participating. So one of the things that we're trying to do, okay, is we have animals. We have 4 dogs and 2 cats, and one of our cats has a little hot spot, and so we had tried to um, set an appointment to take her to the vet, and had to reschedule multiple times. And I'm burning up. Hold on just a second. Sorry about that. I had to take that hoodie off. I'm sweating. For what reason? It's like 70 degrees in the house. But I usually get that when I'm doing the right thing. When what I'm doing is the right thing. Okay. Um. So Friday the 25th is this economic blackout. I have to take my cat to the vet. They have a hot spot. Except that one of the people that listens to the show, her son's a veterinarian, and they have everything from horses all the way down to cats. And they came on the show the other day and said, "You don't take your cat to the vet over a hot spot. Get coat defense, okay?" And they make a powder and a balm. So I told my wife, she went to the website, bought the shit. So we've got a German Shepherd that we're gonna use it on, and a cat, and see if maybe we don't need to go to the vet on Friday, and we can fully participate in the economic blackout where everybody just don't spend money on Friday. It's that simple. Unless it has to happen, do it on Saturday, do it on Thursday. It's that easy. And then obviously, a week from tomorrow would be the next organized protest. So I know a lot of people are looking for ways to get involved. Okay. I'll always point you, okay, to Reddit. Okay. If you don't know, now you know. want you to Reddit. That's where you can get more information on the protests nearest you. Okay. And forgive me, we got a new angle today because my monitor's not working. I don't understand why. And then I wanted to post what happened on the Senate floor, again from Reddit. But long story short, uh, after 6 p.m., I think it was on Thursday or Friday of last week, the Republicans decided they wanted to debate the budget, and Democrats put forward resolutions that would not allow tax breaks for anyone over 10 million, 50, 100 million, billionaire, and Republicans voted against those tax breaks for billionaires. So a lot of people are saying like Democrats aren't doing anything, and I would say they are absolutely exposing the Republicans for exactly who they are and exactly what they've done. And I know that that doesn't win you elections, it doesn't feel good, all that stuff. But the reality of the situation is, yeah, tell everyone you know to sell their Tesla stock. I'm one of those people again, like I've already said today. You don't have to give me much instruction for me to be like, that's the plan. Morning, Bob. If you know someone, if you feel comfortable posting content, the content, okay, to be putting out, sell your Tesla stock. Okay. Okay. And obviously I'm a big football fan, so I'm happy to tell you the Eagles declined to go to the White House after having just won the Super Bowl, and that's awesome. Here, I'll move this back as I settle down a little bit. Hey, good morning. Hmm. Interesting. It's like so close up on my face. Is it normally like that? Oh, I guess I'm looking down here. You can see them. So yeah, a lot of people aren't getting a up close shot of the fact that I'm a neck beard. I have pit bulls. If I was to shave my neck, I'd be dead. Them dogs that see bare skin and think it's something to eat. Oh, you know what else I saw? You remember the lady that called her healthcare company and said, "Y'all are next." Do y'all remember that? She uh she got released without being charged. So, again, free speech is like heavily important. And so understand that you really without, as long as you're not screaming and threatening people and threatening violence, you should be able to go just about anywhere, say just about anything, and not really worry about the repercussions because free speech is a thing. And of course, there's Chris Cluey that recently got dragged out of a town hall meeting by police. Again, I just want to point out that the powers that be are soft as fuck. All of these elected officials are scared. All of them, Republican, Democrat combined. Keep this in mind. I live in Indianapolis, Indiana, in the heart of the reddest part of the country. I ain't fucking scared. What's somebody gonna do? Set my mailbox on fire? Like the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like I'm seeing far too few grown men speak the fuck out. And I get it. It's because most men are stupid and bootlickers. But on the whole, I know there's a lot of men that aren't down with all this shit. But I'm tired of seeing women get beat the fuck up at protests. and fucking town hall meetings, and it not be a dude stepping in and saying not the fucking day. Notice I just got done telling you in the last, I don't know, 4 days, a woman was at a town hall meeting. Republicans started speaking. She chastised him, and men with no badge and no permission from the police came up and literally physically dragged this woman out of that venue. I'm letting y'all know now, protect yourselves 100% of the time. If there is unarmed security present and you think they might have been hired by the organizers of the event and that they might put their fucking hands on you and take, oh, I'd be defending myself. There'd be motherfuckers getting tased. I'm just saying it out loud. Like, I'm one of those people. If I go somewhere and I'm sitting down and everybody's yelling and shit, and I'm the one saying like you stole timber, is what she said, and got physically removed. I'm just saying, I'd have a taser. I'd tase every one of them motherfuckers come after me. You don't have a badge? Oh, hell no, you're not forcibly removing me from this place. Are you out of your mind? But far too many people are far too passive. I think the time for passivity is past us. Remember, I told you, if everyone that didn't look like me went in so much goddamn danger, I'd be anti-gun. But there comes a time and a place and a period when being anti-gun makes sense. That's not the polite society we live in anymore. It's protect yourself season. Don't let yourself be disrespected. And then also, I'm gonna get contacted about James Carville saying the GOP and Trump are in the midst of a collapse. James Carville's entire career is built on him being wrong. So I'll just throw that out there. Dude is like regularly wrong. Also, there's Mother Jones saying there's no way Elon Musk's job's legal. Pretty important. Protesters at Republican event told your voice is meaningless. All these fucking white men just think that they're Oh, and also Elon Musk posted HR at opm.gov openly on the internet. And if I've ever thought about creating a throwaway email responding to that HR at opm.gov email and tell Elon to go fuck himself, uh, make him sit there and read all those. Ukraine getting some heavy donations. I'm still working on our logo. Okay. One of the things that, again, I want to point out, my favorite conversation to have lately is about artificial intelligence. You find so much about people that they have no fucking clue about. My favorite response when I tell people that artificial intelligence is bullshit, it is a child's toy. This is something that I would give an elementary school student that was struggling. Okay. This is what I would give special needs children is artificial intelligence. Okay. It's not it's not pushing any envelopes. It's not able to create uh you can give it specific direction and it will still fuck that up. So I want to take a considerable portion of time and say we should invest in people. We should make people better. Okay. You know how I've been talking about how it feels like Donald Trump's, or not Donald Trump, but Donald Trump and Elon Musk are attacking me personally with their activity concerning the post office and air traffic controllers. The thing about air traffic control that I know is that my daddy went to New Jersey and he was an air traffic controller from Indianapolis. And he went to New Jersey for a year and his job was to continue to work air traffic control against AI and to figure out if they could replace air traffic controllers with artificial intelligence. And my dad was so good at his job. There you go. Now I can see both screens. I don't know why that just happened. Completely screwed up the whole show. But yeah, I want to point that out. My dad, for the last full year, he was just an air traffic controller before he was a supervisor. His job, he went to New Jersey and worked in their center, and they were trying to replace everybody with AI. And my dad, over the course of the year, showed them that you can't replace uh, real life human being air traffic controllers with artificial intelligence. You still can't. And it's mostly because it artificial intelligence can give you basic instruction, meaning it could tell you probably how to get from Chicago to LA, right? But the more factors you introduce, so the more crowded the airspace, the more easily confused AI gets. So the more variables that you introduce, the more problems you bring up, the more confused AI is going to get. You're going to get bad instruction. You're going to end up crashing your aircraft. Now, this is not me pointing out that um, all these aircraft crashes are Donald Trump and Elon Musk's faults. I just want you to know you're seeing literally every aircraft crash on the news in mainstream media, and you're seeing Donald Trump is firing FAA employees and shit. And know that those aren't necessarily connected. Know that the media did this to themselves. So understand a lot, because a lot of people have asked me, like, oh my God, there's so many airplane crashes. There's so many airplane crashes on TV. Go look at the number of aircraft crashes and you'll realize how few there have actually been this month. You've just seen every single fucking one of them on national television. Why? Because the media's alternative is to cover this bullshit administration and all their fuckery that they've normalized. And so they have two choices. We can either be nasty to Donald Trump and call him out for what he's done, or we could cover each and every fucking airline crash. And then you also have to say that Donald Trump fucking fired air traffic controllers. Is correlation causation? No, because if it were, there would be more aircraft accidents. Uh-huh. And in fact, the facts are there have been a criminally low number of airline crashes. You've just heard about every single fucking one of them. I'm going to keep saying that. There have only been like 26. there's usually close to 100. There have only been like 26. You just saw all of them because the media didn't give themselves a choice. They didn't have an out. They didn't have something else to cover that's a major news story. They refused to cover Donald Trump honestly. So they're forced to just air out every fucking airline crash. And again, it seems like flying is unsafe. I know it seems that way. Not fucking true at all. There are tens of thousands of flights every single day. And think about what I just said. Like 26 airline crashes since January 1st. I'm probably wrong in that exact number, but I'm just throwing it out there. And this isn't me. I'm not trying to defend. I don't work in that field. So I'm not empathetic to it. I'm just stating fucking facts. Like you could dislike the shit. You could dislike what I'm saying, but it's not untrue. I'm not telling you a falsehood. Like it's not crashes aren't becoming more common. It's not more dangerous to fly now than it ever has been. I would argue kind of on the contrary, it's actually safer given the numbers. And I know you're like, "Holy shit, Jared, are you not watching?" Yeah, I watch every single fucking crash now cuz it's all over the fucking internet. Yeah. Mhm. I know. I'm more concerned about who, hey Crystal, I'm more concerned about who's on the airplane than that it crashed. Does that make sense? I'm more worried about the right and fucking Elon Musk and shit taking out political opponents. That's what I'm more worried about. Good to go? I know a lot of people are or they wonder what plagues me or what worries me. Okay? Okay. I'm working on a logo and I'm gonna show you. Oh, the only way I could show you. Oh, no, no, no. I'll take the camera. Pretty badass, huh? I'll let you see it too. There's two people in here. So, yeah. So what we're gonna do is, from what you saw, is simplify the snake a little more, and we're gonna try to make the snake's eyeball the star because that's what the Democrat and Republican eyeballs of their animals are, is a star. So you wanna be able to set it side by side and just be like, well, that's clearly the superior logo between a donkey and elephant and that. Is that a fucking cobra? That's dope as fuck. And I want to make sure we point this out because there's going to be people that ask, and you're going to get asked, right, when you're wearing this shit. Why is it a cobra? I'll tell you. So ASP, ASP, okay, which is a dope ass acronym for the American Socialist Party, okay? Your opponents, the Democrats and the Republicans, right? They have a donkey and an elephant. If my shit is an asp, ASP, and that's a venomous snake, okay? I then did research on where the fuck did we get asp, ASP. And if from Latin, aspis, ASPIS, it's actually a direct reference to the Egyptian cobra. So when people ask, why the fuck is the logo for the American Socialist Party ASP? Why is it a cobra? Because that's what an asp is. That's what it was referring to originally. And I'm one of those people. Like, I'll actually go research the shit and be like, oh, what kind of snake were we supposed to be using? A fucking Egyptian cobra. I thought it was something else. It's supposed to be an Egyptian cobra. But yeah. You need to simplify the snake and put the star in the eye. Got this. AI can do it. Yo, what's up? Morning, morning. Need you in. So yeah, we're live on YouTube and Clapper. We are banned from TikTok until March 1st. So Saturday we'll be back. Um, I'm not necessarily worried about that though. TikTok's so goddamn toxic, and yesterday we got banned, and it was like conversational. Like we were talking about socialism. Somebody told us we were wrong, and we were just like, no, it just these movements get violent when people don't get their way. You know what I mean? And keep in mind, there are people that are hardcore Republican and Democrat, and they'll never be anything else, and that's fucking weird. So know that it's not gonna be perfect. Not everybody's just gonna lay down and become a member of the American Socialist Party. That's not gonna happen. Okay? But what we can do is we can just be bigger. We can just be bigger than them. Okay? I know we're living in a strange time right now. A lot of people are like, man, shit is crazy. hmm And I think that Democrats take control of the House back in the special elections. Okay, thanks. Democrats will take back control of the House with these special elections, but all that means is they'll prevent Donald Trump from waking up one day and passing bills and shit. So again, it's just another more of the same, like 4 years of bullshit, you know? Remember, a lot of the stuff that, okay, I was like, for a second, I thought nobody was here, and I was like, what? But why? But yeah, I want to make sure I put that out for you guys. If you know someone with Tesla stock, tell them to sell the shit. Okay. Crush is saying the sound's better over here. Hey, Patty. Morning. Okay. Everybody's becoming Philadelphia Eagles fans. I think the happy story of the day, at least the happy one from the weekend, the Eagles are not going to the White House after having won the Super Bowl, and that's fantastic to me. Okay. Welcome, Patty. This is Justice's Waiting Room. This is a daily live podcast. Right, me neither. This is a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics, and I'm a socialist. And I'm also the founder of the American Socialist Party. And sometime in the next month, we'll actually formally go to the FEC and apply and become a political party. Although I am concerned about that because Donald Trump has seized control of the FEC. But I can imagine if we fulfill all of the obligations to become a registered political party with the FEC, it's an automated. And I can imagine Donald Trump doesn't think that we're a threat. I can promise you, at least I think, as soon as we establish a tax ID and a bank account and we're a registered political party, I can promise you things are going to change for me. Okay. But not at the expense of the show. Okay. I still think, till the day I die, that it's important that no matter my station, no matter what I'm doing, that I continue to make this show where we talk about what actually happening, what is actually going on out here, because the news isn't telling us, right? And remember how all those people that told you Donald Trump's going to end the war in Ukraine? Israel rolled tanks into Gaza yesterday. Palestinians can't return to their homes. Just wanted to. You think those tanks are there to pull people out of the rubble? Rescue tanks? Is that what we're obviously in the most obvious in the most obvious pattern of behavior ever? When HR at OPM sent that bullshit out, that email out over the weekend that said, "Tell us what you do or get fired," many heads of agencies said, "Don't reply to that," including Kash Patel. I can tell you that from behavior, like Donald Trump and his friends, more likely Donald Trump's friends, do not like Elon Musk. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, I think, like, because I posted, hey, CC, I posted the stuff about James Carville saying, like, he gives the Republican Party a few months and they'll fall apart. Again, I want to point out, like, James Carville's been, as far as I'm concerned, wrong, like, a lot over the course of his life. But say all that to say, I think I think there will be a split eventually. For example, Donald Trump passed that shit. Yeah, they don't like Elon. Because he's the one, he's powerful, because he's the president. Elon Musk is a terrible fucking president. But yeah, Donald Trump just signed a thing eliminating like 8,000 electric vehicle chargers. And it's like Elon Musk owns a car company that makes electric vehicles. Why would you do that? That seems like it's going to be. Am I making sense? I'm trying to find it. Like, isn't that crazy? Yeah, I think that's part of the reason he's. Yeah, that's part of the reason he's. Where's the fucking EV shit? By the way, this is going to be one of those shows where I repeat myself all over the time. Okay. Um, Sell your Tesla stock. Gay Valamont. Here's like the first picture I've seen on social media of Gay Valamont. All right, I'm gonna Google it. Trump 8,000 EV. Here. All federal government buildings turning all 8,000 chargers off. Okay. Now, why is that important? Why did I go hunt that down to post it? Because you gotta think, shutting off all 8,000 electric chargers at every federal government building, who is that most likely to impact given behaviors since January 20th? Elon Musk, like, doesn't he drive a Cybertruck and shit? So, like, all these federal government buildings that he's gonna go to, the fucking EV chargers are gonna be turned off. How long before him and Donald Trump have a fucking problem? where Elon comes in, throws. I mean, remember from my perspective, they're in a relationship. Elon comes and walks in the hotel room, slams his keys down on the fucking bedside table, and says, "Donnie, we got to talk." Why the fuck would you shut all 8,000 chargers off at every federal building? Okay. Also, uh, after his meeting with Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump said he wants Russia to join the G7, um, and wants to keep Ukraine out of NATO. Hey, Corey. Who, oddly enough, President Vladimir Zelensky said over the weekend that he would step down as president if it gave Ukraine NATO membership or it brought peace to Russia, brought peace to Ukraine. Okay. Now, is he gonna step down? Fucking no, because Russia's nut deep in Ukraine and there's a war going on. Yeah, but that was only 400 million, Bridget. That's a drop in the bucket. 400 million dollars is nothing when you've got 400 billion. But yeah, if Tesla defaults, he defaults on all his loans and he basically becomes penniless overnight. Why, Jared? Or maybe slow and don't get that. What do you mean? Yeah, it's not because you're slow. It's a terrible decision. A lot of the times when these people make terrible decisions, it doesn't make sense. I happen to just think Elon Musk probably drives as one of his own vehicles. Like, come on. He's one of the simplest egotists ever. You know for a fact he drives one of his own vehicles. And his boyfriend shut off the chargers in front of all these federal buildings. They're trying to drive a wedge between Musk and Trump. And you got to understand, like, all of Trump's hardcore friends don't like Elon Musk. I think part of the reason that Donald Trump's closer friends don't like Elon Musk is because I think it was fairly obvious that there was election interference and fraud. And I think Elon Musk promised they'll never catch us. He told it to his fucking kid. He said it, right? They'll never know what we did. I think that's exactly what he said. Obviously, there was an election over the weekend. Thanks, Corey. There was a big election over the weekend in Germany, and these dinguses here in the United States were supporting the AfD, which was the Nazi party in Germany, and they did not win. They made gains, but they did not win. The Conservative Party did win, but conservative in Germany doesn't mean what conservative means here. Good to go. Um, wanna make sure we point out that unlike anyone that calls himself a Democrat, independent, or conservative, the Socialist Party, the that I'm building, the foundation of that is equality for all and inclusivity for all. And you'll notice if you're not a socialist, there's plenty of people out there that are like, oh, this fucking equality shit drives me crazy. I can't stand, all these super progressive politics, these weirdo politics. Y'all are all, y'all like drag queens and gay people and shit. And I'm like, oh, you mean my friends? My colleagues at places I've worked my whole life? What? So I think we won't have a hard time growing, right? Because we're going to be an inclusive party, right? And why wouldn't you do that? And that was, for the record, that was one of the things I've heard pretty consistently from white cis males is that Kamala Harris lost because of her progressive stances. Yeah, and there's so many people searching for a third option, right? Mhm. And I'm one of those people. You can't start. You can't register as a political party. You can't start fundraising. You can't. You shouldn't even have social media. Okay, until you have your logo. Okay, until you've got something concrete that you're proud of that was made, right? Not I used AI. I used AI to get us close, and then I asked the artist to actually do the actual art, right? Because I can get I can bend AI to my will for about a B. I could probably get a B using AI. The problem is that AI is not a person. AI does not take instruction very well. Okay. And AI, the more specific you try to be, the less good it is. And I'm gonna keep saying shit like that. And for the record, I'm gonna get drowned out by a bunch of mediocre white men. Yeah. Yeah, the video of his little kid. I still think they'll find election interference in Germany. Well, for the record, they already came out and said that there was election interference from Elon Musk, and that they do paper ballots only, and that's why there wasn't fraud. By the way, my Marines came last night. There was a governor's ball at the White House, and my Marines sang "Do You Hear the People Sing" from Les Mis. Um, the musical is set during the June Rebellion of 1832, which is an anti-monarchist uprising in Paris. So obviously, Donald Trump would never understand why they sang "Do You Hear the People Sing." Yeah. Starting to wonder if it should be if it's time to start withholding your tax and saving it to the end of the year. I had said something about that a while ago, and I got approached by somebody that said, "Don't do that shit." Um, they're calling for 1 million people in Washington D.C. on March 4th. Okay. And hey, if you're here and you like what we're doing and you like the people that are here and you wouldn't mind working with these people, I'm gonna post the link to our Discord in the chat. Okay. But yeah, sell your Tesla stock, join the Discord. Okay. And then as we continue going, more people are joining the Great Tech Rebellion. It's just they're doing it on their own, which is fantastic. But I want to make sure that we talk about You think we'll get outside help or waiting for them to eat each other? I don't know. I think that's the correct thing to say. I thought NATO would help us. I thought our Department of Justice, the other agencies, the agencies that Donald Trump hasn't even fucking woke up and thought about yet, they still have a report due to come out from Executive Order 13848 on March 3rd. Um, and that should be, that's how you'll know, you know, because there's no, you can't bury that if there's Donald Trump didn't cover all the exits. That's what I want to make sure I say, right? Um, he might have got directors of the FBI, right? He's got Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, right? He's got Tulsi Gabbard, right? You got Hegseth, the SecDef, but they can't keep those reports from coming out from all those other agencies. They don't run those agencies. So a lot of people are like, you mean he didn't get in there and just stop Executive Order 13848? No, he didn't. That is not one of the executive orders that he's signed has eliminated that executive order. So he didn't eliminate that executive order. And this means that multiple agencies did investigations into every election. I'm going to say it again. Multiple agencies did their investigations into this election. Not just ODNI, FBI, CIA. Okay. But D6, CISA, NSA, there's plenty of other agencies. And keep this in mind. I want to make sure we say this too. That investigation's over. It ended on December 20th. There's a reason not Donald Trump, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden rushed back to the White House on the 20th. It was to review all of those reports. Okay. And again, I want to make sure we say the ODNI did not put out an all clear. So they never came out and said everything was fine. There's no fraud or election interference or fraud. Yeah. So again, there's a reason. There's a rhyme for the reason. There's a reason I've sat here this whole time and said, get 8 hours of sleep a night, hydrate, eat right, exercise. Right. There's a reason that I've told people don't go to pop up protests, only go to planned fucking protests. What's Well, it's not March, Christina. And I think you really want to know as much as you can. See, what I've said is there comes a point where they say we're eliminating SNAP, Medicaid, Social Security, and veterans benefits. And when people start not getting their money, but up until now, understand most of what Donald Trump has done has not happened. He's said like, I'm making this rule, and a federal judge has said like that's not legal. So I would just ask like, what's the rush? Is he hurting your fifis? Because I wake up every day, point out what he does, but I'm not letting that fucking old demented ass man fucking ruin my day. He's not doing anything. I when I say that effective, he's not an effective leader. There's nothing coming out of his gullet that's like good. So most of it's not fucking happening, right? And the problem that I have, if just allowed to continue, nothing happens with Executive Order 13848. It's not just a failure of our justice system. it becomes then a failure of the Democratic Party for not taking Donald Trump seriously. And then there's a reason why Joe Biden fucking disappeared. It's because he did not take Donald Trump seriously, and he failed as a leader to put this country in a position to fight against it. That's what it becomes. And I get it. They tried in 2018 and in 2022 to pass more rigorous election law. But here's what Democrats did. Democrats see every time a Republican gets elected, they see it as, oh, we'll never lose another election. Who would vote for that shit? The problem is that sentiment. I said I don't know, Corey. I don't know. I I think NATO will help us. But again, the problem that I have is that I think that if that were the case, why sign an executive order extending 13848? Right. But Joe Biden did that every year. hmm He extended it every year. Extended executive order 13848, which puts the investigation of elections entirely on the Department of Justice. Yeah. And again, I fully expect like more than ever, because Donald Trump has gone after the FBI and CIA and has actually replaced people at high levels. Um, Again, I'm operating under the presumption he has no fucking clue it's coming, which is perfect because he can't possibly he can't possibly know it's coming. He hasn't said a fucking word about it. I signed this executive order back in 2018. I'm just going to rescind it. But understand, the damage is already done. The report already happened. I'm almost 100% positive because that was the reason that we became friends with James Blackman, who was a Reagan staffer, is because we said, for what reasons over the holidays, why would the president and vice president rush back to the White House on December 20th? Why did that happen? And he said, if there's an act of war, maybe, but otherwise, because of the results of Executive Order 13848, they went back to the White House to review those results. That's the only reason you'd go back, is if there's a war, like an act of war that you have to respond to, but they didn't speak to the public. So again, you have to say, why would the president and vice president of the United States rush back to the White House on Friday, December 20th and not declare war? To review the reports coming from Executive 13848. Yep. And then they didn't do shit. They didn't say a fucking word for a few days. And then Joe Biden signed all these fucking bills. One of the things that I'm hearing, and I don't want to give people hope because I'm not a hope dealer. Good to go. I want to make sure I say it loud and proud. I'm not out here, I'm not selling. Okay. But one of the things that I've kind of heard, and don't shoot the messenger, is that Joe Biden is the shadow president. And long story short, he posted, look at his last few executive orders. Think about all the things that happened think about the inauguration. Think about how Donald Trump is the president, has a right-leaning House and Senate and SCOTUS. How many bills have they written? None. They're trying to keep dirt off their hands. All the Republicans are they're not writing bills, putting bills forward. There've been some bills. There's a reason I asked, like, how many bills? Like, 4? How many executive orders and presidential orders, though? Oh, like 500? So Donald Trump has no problem whatsoever putting himself out there, trying to fuck some shit up. But outside of like Chip Roy, who what bills are they proposing that they could absolutely ram through? There's a reason I'm talking about it. They could just vote Republicans stick side by side. They House, Senate, President signs off, Supreme Court backs them up. Nothing. And like I said, one of the problems that I have with the Democratic Party is supposedly, you have this Executive Order 138 coming down the pipe, and there's a lot of people saying like 140 elected officials are going to be determined that they're not eligible for office. Okay. Nobody's doing anything, Trump and Musk. But yeah, Musk is reportedly nervous that if everyone boycotts Tesla stock, he'll have to default on all his loans collateralized by the stock value, and he'll be penniless in days. Yeah, yeah. And think about all the co-conspirators of his that he's put in as cabinet picks. He didn't actually put the best person for the job. He didn't interview. You know what I mean? The guy that he replaced, my favorite so far, is he fired CQ Brown Jr., the highest ranking member of the American Armed Forces, for a lieutenant general who's not eligible for the fucking job. So Donald Trump had to get him an exception to take the job. That's the hope. By the way, Crystal. That's the hope. So yeah, there's a lot of people that have been asking me all this time, what can we be doing? Okay. First of all, you should be getting your money out of the bank and putting it in a credit union. Banks are not protected anymore. Okay. Get your money out of the bank, put it in a credit union. Good to go. Beyond that, as far as your smartphone goes, get rid of Facebook, Threads, and IG. Most importantly, though, out of Meta tools, get rid of Facebook Messenger. Been saying it again. If you go, many of you are on TikTok. If you go watch Mad Hatter, the blue haired girl, who's a comedian, by the way, if you go, she has a video where she talks about um, how dangerous Facebook is, how dangerous Meta is. Um, Facebook Messenger has unmitigated access to your camera and microphone, meaning at all times. It also, Facebook Messenger uses the text from your conversations to influence the algorithm on all other Meta platforms. That's super fucking invasive. And also, let's say you're a protester. Facebook Messenger will give away your location to, I don't know, like security forces and police and shit. So get Messenger off your phone, get WhatsApp off your phone, get Twitter off your phone, get Amazon off your phone. Did I say stop using all of them? No, there's plenty of people. There's plenty of people that have come out and said, "All right, I won't use them." Okay? Yeah, so what I've done, and I did this a while ago while I was in college, I switched to Opera. 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 It replaced Google Chrome. I switched to Proton Mail for the political party. I don't do anything worth hiding in my fucking Gmail. Okay. So I don't care about privacy because I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm also not doing anything illegal with my political party, but I will protect that email. So I use Proton email to get away from Gmail. You get a free email address for signing up for Proton. You could pay for it, whatever. As far as using a VPN on Opera, if you go incognito, so Control Shift N, like you're gonna go look at porn and shit, it's a VPN. Okay. A lot of people have asked me, should I buy a VPN? No. What you should do is use Opera and use an incognito window, and it's a VPN. Heard some dirt on Opera. Interesting. Here's how I care about my web browser. I care about how heavy you are. And so the reason to get away from Google, not only are they fucking invasive, um, but they're really heavy on your computer. So when you use Google Chrome, you're like making your computer fucking work. That's how it breaks. So once you know that it's just heavy and it takes a lot of memory to run Google Chrome, and hey, Opera is just way lighter, makes your computer work way less hard, which means it'll tear up less often. That's all I had to be told. It don't make your computer work as hard to do the same thing, and it's a VPN. I'm on it. I'll never use Google Chrome again, except on a work computer that I have to use Google Chrome on. And I've noticed no change. I mean, obviously, except for my computer runs better. One of the things you don't see when I'm here streaming, you don't see my face doesn't get blurred out and like you can't. You know what I'm saying? It's because my computer browser that I have on the other screen is not absolutely killing my computer's ability to keep up, right? Because that's what Google will do. If I was on Google Chrome while trying to use OBS, oh shit, this show would look like shit. So I don't know what the dirt is on Opera. Let me know if you find anything. I haven't ever heard any dirt, but know that Google's parent company, Alphabet, the CEO's Larry Page, he's a billionaire. There are no ethical billionaires. So know that. No such thing. That's why I, use all my brain power to build the American Socialist Party, and it can never be about money. I'm not doing that because I need money. I'm not building the American Socialist Party because I need power and I need a job. Not doing that. Okay. I'm building the American Socialist Party because I see a need for it. I got too many people that I know and care about that aren't Republicans and Democrats. They don't fit in those boxes. They'd call themselves something else if it existed. And I think everyone can understand that I don't want you to die with a bunch of medical debt. I don't want you to pay student loans your whole life. I don't want you to pay rent or interest. And I want you to have universal health care. Everyone in the world. Because you never know how powerful you really are until all of the barriers that you can't do anything about are removed. For most people, they can't help where they live. They can't help but pay for health care, can't help but get student loans. Socialism could take care of all of that stuff. Put a couple $1,000s a month in your pocket in case, your paycheck's late or something. Remove the cost of education, lower or remove the cost of housing, remove the cost of healthcare. Everyone would be on a lot more level ground. And one of the fears I've heard, by the way, is with socialism is theft. Yeah, that's right. People think if everybody has more, everyone will steal more. Just know that that's not how that works out in any other organized, polite society. Most of the time, if everyone has what they need, people become selfless. Meaning they're more likely to help other people. That's backed by statistics. When people are able to take care of their own needs, they start looking out for other people. Okay? Well, one of the things I'll never be able to do is be indifferent to the suffering of my fellow countrymen, right? And no matter what it is. And I think that there's too much of a proclivity for both of the major political parties in the United States to write off whole groups of people because they don't see it's worth their time. There's a reason Democrats don't challenge every political race. They don't value them. Remember, it's the Democrats that coined the term flyover country. It's not, hmm, interesting. So there was a conservative anti Trump conference, okay? And it got a bomb threat. By the way, I think Enrique Tarrio and the Proud Boys to honor the January 6th hostages. So keep in mind, there was a conservative conference that's anti-Trump and anti-corruption, right? So for the record, more of the fucking same coming from the right. Oh, that plane that got diverted? I never heard anything about it. I know what you're talking about though. Somebody sent me a picture of a passenger jet being tailed by a fighter jet, and then there was an accompanying fighter jet a ways away from the aircraft. I saw that shit. I never heard anything. Heard what happened. You have a VPN through Norton and LifeLock. Good. Good, good, good. Protect yourself at all times. Okay. So understand, I've tried to not ask you for much. And so I say that and say thank you to everyone that has supported me, whether it be financially or just fucking being here every day. I'm gonna ask you to get involved. I'm gonna create social media profiles on all of the sites. Okay. We're gonna do it symbolically on March 1st. Okay, March 1st, 2025. Make sure you spread the news, right? Make sure you like this, share this, comment on the stuff I make. I did put out a little short on YouTube this morning where a little birdie sent me a link to a post where the belief is that Elon Musk is worried about the boycott of Tesla stock, and if Tesla stock does indeed tank, then he would default on all his loans and be penniless in days. And I don't take much instruction. When you tell me the worst person on the planet is susceptible to losing everything, oh, we need to make that shit happen. So, yeah, I thought it was killing in the name. Protest music. I think we shared that the other day. Fuck Wagner, by the way. Slava Ukrainian Free Palestine. Oh, did you see that shit? I already said that. They rolled tanks into Gaza, said Palestinians won't be able to return to their homes. And by the way, I read an article Donald Trump has golfed 17% of the time. I think Donald Trump should have to fill out the email from hr@opm.gov saying, "What the fuck did you do last week, Donald?" They burn crosses. Ugh. Killing in the name of. Hey. So welcome Bob and Kathleen to the Discord. I see that Canadians have a petition to revoke Elon Musk's citizenship. We do the same thing in the United States, that'd be great. Mm-hmm. I like. I'm a simple person. I like the flyers. Killing the name off. It's good to see it out though. Yo, this is dope. This is in Texas. Look at this protest flyer. Six Semper Tyrannis. Justified. Hell yeah. So for the record, I love. I found a new subreddit, Protest Finder USA. I just love seeing all the protests. Houston, Texas, St. Paul, Minnesota. Shout out. Richmond, VA, Tucson, Arizona, New London, Connecticut, Annapolis, Tennessee, Austin, Texas. That flyer was awesome. North Hollywood, Las Vegas. Okay. Here's some upcoming stuff that you can get involved in. Okay. And I'll read it to you. All right. So there was already the President's Day protest. Okay. Friday, February 28th, the economic blackout. Stay at home. Don't spend any money for 24 hours. Okay. And they're saying like buy all your stuff before the 28th. Okay. So that you're not rushing out on Saturday. Everybody just spending all their money on Saturday. Right. Get your gas and shit the day before. And then obviously on March 4th, there's a major organized protest. Okay. Your state capital, noon. Hell, I'm seeing protests not at state capitals being organized all over the country. So if your state capital is too far for you to drive, hey, you could protest in your fucking yard. Good to go. Beyond March 4th, okay? March 7th to 14th is a Amazon protest. Do not buy from Amazon. I wouldn't buy from Amazon if I don't have to forever, but specifically not from March 7th to the 14th. Don't buy from Amazon. Okay. Then on Friday, March 14th, mark your calendars. Okay. No working for 24 hours. All workers, businesses, higher education organizations, this is not a march. Okay. It's a national strike. And remember, one of the things as a socialist that I believe in is nonviolent, organized protest, boycott, and strike as a means of getting your point across. These are the most effective forms of change. I'm gonna keep saying it. It's the most effective form of change. Every socialist movement, every movement aimed at getting everyone universal healthcare, education, income, and housing that has failed because they got violent. So everyone out there that thinks raise your weapon and let's go to war against the United States, which has tanks and shit, just know that's real dumb. And that it would be much smarter for you to become politically active, lay down your arms. Obviously, if you're going into the hornet's nest, like you're going into a Republican town hall, you might wear a vest, right? You might bring your taser because you say something stupid and you get dragged out of that bitch, and there's, you know what I mean? You could have just tased some people and just not have gotten fucking dragged out by the security. And that's called defending yourself. And you're allowed to fucking defend yourself. Okay? And keep this in mind because there's going to be people that reach out that watch the show later and they're like, I can't believe you told people to be violent. Oh, the police didn't know they were there and know that they were instructed to act as law enforcement and drag people out and shit. Lear Asset Management. So, like I said, as someone who worked armed and unarmed security for over a fucking decade, real men don't work for that bullshit. You hear me? Grown ass men don't work there. Real motherfuckers don't work there. And I hope that place goes out of fucking business. So if you're a place in Missouri, I believe that was in Missouri, that uses Lear Asset Management, which is a security firm that the conservatives use as their fucking lackeys, don't do business with them. It's time to direct your money elsewhere. Okay? Oh, Smells Like Teen Spirit was just on. Oof. But it's about that time. Okay? Few minutes left. Roll out. Eat the rich. Okay? I appreciate you all for being here. I'm sorry that we aren't on old TikTok, but okay. But just because we're not working and you can visibly see what we're doing doesn't mean we're doing nothing. You know, I got a day job now. Okay. Um, hey, if any of you are struggling, you've used your credit cards up, you're barely able to make monthly payments, you have $10,000 or more in unsecured debt, which is things like student loans, unsecured student loans, payday loans, personal loans, credit cards. Hey, I can help you. If you're struggling, I can help you. Okay? Maybe time to do something else. Yeah? So if you're in that position and you need my help, hit me up. Good to go? Let me know. I need your help. How do I get in touch with you? Okay? And I thank you. I thank all of you for being here with me. Make sure that you like my stuff, share my stuff. I'm going to still post daily on TikTok. Okay? There's that flight. I couldn't find that flight. There you go. On ABC News. Italian Air Force fighter jets. It's crazy. Huh. It makes you wonder. Okay. Have a good rest of your day. We'll get out of there. Hey, everybody. We're just getting out of here. Have a good day. Okay. So have a good week here. Gearing up for Friday. Yeah. I try not to get too worried about TikTok because I see TikTok as a stressor, right? I see it as I don't know that that's a place I want to give a ton of energy. It's kind of, you don't really have a choice because it's the biggest platform that we have, right? I got like 15,000, 16,000 some shit followers on TikTok, but I'm not gonna let it get in my head. I'm not gonna beg to be on the platform. You know, it'd be different if we were doing something fucking wrong, right? And we've been trying to convert our audience over to YouTube, right? Because you could actually see the links and click on the links. You know, one of the things that TikTok does is TikTok floats those links that I ship. It don't show you all of them, you know? So you want to read what I'm sharing and you're on TikTok, you've got to copy that, paste it somewhere else, right? So you pretty much have to be on a PC. Otherwise, you have to leave the app to go read what I'm talking about. Or at least on YouTube, you could just click it. You don't have to do a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? Yes, it's going to take you somewhere else. Yes, yes. But it's going to leave YouTube open. But anyway, appreciate y'all. Have a good day. We'll see you soon. Okay? Baby.